back to Studio Lou. It's Cindy. So today I am working on a few things. I'm hoping to get a little bit more work done on the Indigo journals, but I'm also working on my 2021 Journal of Firsts. So this is going to be the book that I'm going to kind of document my life, and it's going to be sort of my planner and just kind of different stuff. I don't know. So this is a Moleskine journal, and it was orange, and this morning I just covered the cover with some nice digital prints from my porch prints on Etsy. This is the wildflowers, I think botanical wildflowers collection. So what I did was I just put a couple of slots here to allow the back of the elastic to go through. So in this book I used a sticker, and I just another sticker, actually two stickers, and added 2021 and Journal of Firsts. And then for the first page I actually I glued the two together. I can't remember what was on that first page, but I didn't need whatever it was. And in like the front and the back of these kind of books, those pages are often kind of glued together anyways, so the second page doesn't fully open, and so that bothers me, and I just don't want to use that page ever. So what I did was I gessoed this, and I glued down my my phenology wheel for this year, for sort of just tracking the year, nature, and things going on. So I haven't started to put anything on it yet. I think I'm a little bit early in the month of January to get started on that quite yet. It might be something that I do as a reflection more toward the end of the month, but I'm not exactly sure. If you're interested in the Wheel of Phenology, I'll share the link in the description to it. It's by Raising Little Shoots. So I think I'll show that to you in the description box. Then I left this page alone. This is the 2021-22 calendar that Moleskine provides. Then what I'm going to do with these pages, like the weekly or like the month spreads, these little boxes, I could use them for tracking, but I've actually decided not to. I don't want to. I'm going to use these pages kind of like for the things that I document and track in my bullet journal. So this is sort of going to be like a bullet journal, but not necessarily like using bullet format. So these are going to be things like my finished projects that I do in 2021, my creative finished projects. So this is paper again from my porch prints on Etsy, and I can share that link in the description as well. And this is from the one of her So Sweet kit. Both of those are from that same kit. So that's what I plan to do. I just want to cover all of these because I actually completely forgot and went and used my wet Sharpie on this one, although I wasn't planning to use this page anyways. And yeah, you can't do that because they go through. So I'll show you just an idea of what my Journal of Firsts is going to look like. So this is the first page basically of my Journal of Firsts. So this week we went for a drive and I saw my first wild turkeys of the year. So I did a little watercolor of the wild turkey there. And I just basically documented what we did. We went for a graveyard walk. We made sunbread. It was the first snowfall as well of the year on the 1st. And then basically I'm just kind of keeping track of what I'm doing. Like it snowed, I'm knitting mittens. Then over here, a picture of my daughter throwing a snowball. And then I was sewing masks this week, so I just cut out a little picture of the mask. And we made sunbread from this book called Sunbread by Elisa Clevin. It's a beautiful book. If you are doing any kind of anything with kids and you want to bake with them, I recommend it. And then just a picture from our graveyard walk of a couple beautiful big cedar trees. And so I'm all ready to go for next week. I've got my reminder to water my plants. So yeah, that is kind of what this book is going to end up looking like each week, with one side being kind of like what's going on during the week and the firsts that are happening, and then the other side just being like a little bit of a visual look at what is happening during my week. So I think that the next page I'm going to use this print. So let's get that ripped out. Just tear around the edges here. So yeah, yesterday I took a day off of filming, but I did like work on a bunch of things. I installed my new printer, which was rocket science, like seriously. So it's an Epson, I guess 4760. So it's a scanner, printer. Oops, this ruler's not heavy enough. And for some reason, fax machine. I do not see myself needing to fax anything, or I don't even have a line that could do so. So yeah, when you install a printer nowadays, apparently the companies that make these things, they no longer have technical writers to create very useful documentation. So that was fun. And then just the way, like, they give you like a sheet that's like, start here, and you think, oh great, this is going to walk me through the process between, you know, just turning on the printer. Probably I'll be prompted with what to do, right? You know, that does not happen. So the first thing it told me to do was like take all the stickers off the printer, so I did that. Then it told me to basically like okay, I gotta go 5 inches, I think. Let me double check the measurement here before I start gabbing again. So then after, yeah, 5. After I did that, like, it said fill the ink tanks. And so I'm like, okay. So then it only tells you how to fill the black one, not the colored ones. But like, it's essentially the same. It's just that they're a little bit smaller. And so I did that. And you know, at this point, it's still not telling you to turn on the printer, right? So like, next is like loading paper. And I'm a very literal person. So like, I want to be told literally what to do. Just literally tell me what to do. So then the next thing like was to load the paper. So I was like, this seems weird. So at the stage of ink filling, I kind of stopped and went like, I haven't filled an Eco Tank ink before. So I wanted to be sure like I wasn't going to do anything wrong. And so I was like, turn on the printer, because I noticed in the documentation that it said that it has like an overflow indicator. So like if you try to fill the ink too much, that it will let you know. So I was like, well, that's valuable, and I don't want to not have that, you know, oversight. So I turned on the printer, and then I tried to hook up the network cable, which didn't work. They don't send you a network cable, and I think that the one that I used with my old printer, it just doesn't seem to respond. I don't know if it's like a USB issue, maybe like USB 2 versus 3 or some other kind of issue. I'm not sure, but it did not work. So then I was like, okay, let's just make this a Wi-Fi printer. So then I got it connected to the Wi-Fi, not a problem. So then I started to think like, okay, well, I guess like at this point the printer had booted up, and it was like, enter, you know, your basic things, your country, the date, the time, etc. So I did all that, and then it got to a screen that just said like, refer to your, you know, start here documentation for information on how to initialize. So I was like, okay. So I went to the paper copy as well as the online guide, and neither of them, I searched like the word online initialization, nothing. So I'm like, okay. And so then I was like, I'll install the software on my computer that the, you know, printer's going to need anyway. So I started doing that. And then once you get to a certain stage, it starts to finally like ask you some relevant questions. Like, you know, have you filled the ink tank? Have you initialized, you know? So then finally I was like, oh, thank goodness. So then finally I could get the steps on how to initialize. There's like a button sequence. And so then that started. I think I just have to take a little more off the side. And so then, you know, it was that kind of thing the whole time, just like kind of like waddling through this whole process. Like, it's just, to me, I feel like it would be so easy to just do a very easy, like step-by-step on how to set the printer up. I mean, it's like they attempted to do that, but then they just like, I don't know if like things have changed over time since like their original like printer model that they wrote the document for or what have you, but like it's really not good. So That being said, it's all hooked up now. I think I still need to do a bit of like perfecting on how it should print, because I did print one sheet of images that I wasn't completely happy with, so I have to kind of play with the settings. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to go around with a thin line of art glitter glue, only around the edges, because I don't want this to be a very bulky page. I don't want to go over the whole thing with glue stick because it will stiffen the paper and stiffen the page. And I just want the pages to kind of be very like they are now, just kind of like free flowing and not too thick. And we got to make sure we're in the right spot. Just push it over a little. Art glitter glue does not give you very much time to adjust, so. Okay, and then we got a little overhang here. I thought I rounded those corners, did I not? Maybe, but then maybe I cut it again. That's okay, I can just do it with my scissors here. There we go. And then I'll just take my ruler and just smooth the whole thing. Make sure there's no glue blobs under there, and there's not, so that's good. Then I'll just lift it up, make sure that I just kind of touch the back and make sure there's no glue, which there isn't, so we're good. I could have stood to be a little taller. That's okay. When I do my heading, I'll do something neat there. Oh, this is the one that I did round the corners for sure. So the important thing now is to make sure that I line these up together, because they're both a little short. I don't know why I went too short. Distraction, printer stress. That's what it is. So it's a snowy day today. We are definitely not going out. It's the last day before the holidays are over. So I have just been, I did a shop update this morning. And I posted the vampire journal, and I posted some hand spun yarns and some little gnome house pin cushions. Okay. Yep. Is that going to lift up again? Let's see. Yes, we need a little more glue in there. And I posted some hand-painted roving too for spinners. So, yeah, it was good to get that all done because I've been meaning to get a shop update done. But I wanted to just slow down a little on the shop updates anyways because of the postal backlog. So, and tomorrow I have to ship orders, so I will do that. All right, I still need more paper. I need, how many more pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, trying to decide if I want to keep any of these. I might keep that one. 6, 7, 8. So I need 8 more pages. This is funny. My inspiring journeys. Join the dots. Yeah, my journey. So maybe I could do an extra little one like my living room, my basement, my because there's not going to be too many journeys, I don't think, for a while. That's okay. Okay, so that one's done. You know, I'm not sure if I like how this center is. It's okay. It's okay. It was just a little glue bubble. Okay, I'm just being a perfectionist here. So, I just have to grab this stack of paper so I can find what I want to use here. So, my apologies for not planning. A lot of these digitals are very busy and I just want kind of backgrounds. That's a decent one. yeah, we'll just set these over here. I'm gonna put my lid on my glue so that there are no disasters. So I did do a little bit of work on the Indigo journals yesterday. I put some of the ephemera inside the hardcover book because I just wanted to get them off my desk and out of the way because I've been actually getting quite a bit of work done on them. Okay, now we're just going through pockets and things. Still all too busy for this. This one. I don't want lines. That one could be nice, actually. Yeah. Maybe that one too. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six, 7, one more. Maybe this one. Let me see. See if another one steals my heart, and if not, we'll go with it. Okay, we're getting into these 8. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I could just sift through paper all day, but I don't have time. Okay. All right, so where is my paper cutter? So I can hopefully speed this up a little bit here. Move this out of the way. These have the same margins. So let's try doing like 4 of these at a time. Oops. Oops. Let's do this all alongside. Pull that back a little bit. Okay. All right, so now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I should check this before I cut it. Okay, let me double check and make sure that in fact it is lined up correctly. So I want to cut this like right here. There we go. that's certainly faster. Now let me see if all of these would benefit from a cut on this side. Yes, they would. Okay, so let's just see how far we got to cut on this one. So actually right there, right where that little mark already is. That works. Okay. Wait a minute, that's not what I want to do. I want to cut from this side. Yeah. Right there. Okay. Right there. I'm sorry, guys. This is a little footsie for me today. I'm just a little too footsie. Okay. I'm gonna make a mark. I don't trust myself here. Right there. Okay. Okay, now we're lined up. That's what I want to do. I just don't want to get this all done and then have a mistake. That'd be very sad. Okay. So, which is which? So that side goes there, that side goes there. Perfect. So let me just separate these two sides. Let's put this one on this side and this one over here. And then we'll go to the next 4 pages here. So first we're going to cut this off. Okay. Oops. So what I'm going to do is I like to just run my ruler into the pocket underneath that, just to make sure that it's not going to stick. And I'm just going to give that a minute to relax, to dry. And then I'm going to go back over here to this. So that's, I think, pretty much dry now. Okay, so next page. It's this one and this one. Which way did they go? Okay, no, that does go on the inside. It's like the crack of the book. Okay, so that needs the corners rounded. And does this need a trim? It's hard to tell this side for some reason. Maybe just a tiny bit. This is so strange. Okay. Let's just do the corners. Hold on one. I'm going to take from the inside because the crack there I don't need. There we go. All right, now the corners. All right, let's move this glue and put it back. The best thing that I've done so far with like handling these glues on this desk is I got this really heavy ceramic vase that someone in my Pottery Guild made for me like during a holiday swap, and like it's so great to put my glue in. I can put my 2 bottles. I'll show it to you actually. So here it is. You might have seen this on my desk before, but it's just this like lovely salt fired vase that one of my friends made. She's a potter. I won't say her name because I don't know if she wants to be mentioned in my video, but she made that for me for the holidays. And like the nice thing about it is it's really heavy, so it's not going to tip over, because it's really a pet peeve of mine when I'm working, that like I'm hitting things with my like either my elbow or my hand or like something else on my desk, because like it just feels too crowded. But like just the nature of what I'm working on, you kind of have to have a lot of stuff within reach. So even if you had a really big space and didn't want to be cluttered, which I do have a decent sized space, you're still kind of cluttered anyways, because you need to have a lot of things within reach so that you're not having to get up constantly and like get what you need. So, and when you're making things like ephemera, you're just like kind of looking for like, well, what would look nice here? And then you're like digging through bags or pulling out pages in books or what have you. So I do try my best to not have to get up as often as like I might need to. I guess it just comes with getting more and more used to like adjusting your process to filming. And like some people are really good at it. I see like a lot of people making videos that just, they don't leave their spot. They have everything they need. They know exactly what they're doing. And I'm sure they do a lot more planning. My videos at this stage of the game, I don't have like a really well planned out schedule or anything. And I probably won't for a while. Because I have little kids and it's an unpredictable life right now. So I'm not like sweating anything about that. I'm just living with that reality. That's what it is. So the more we don't tie ourselves to like expectations that we can't achieve, like the better off we are. I think I once heard, I think it was Gail Agostinelli talking about sort of a similar concept, and she was saying like that people have written to her and talked about how like they don't know how she gets so much done, or how they can't get done what they would like to get done. And you know, she basically gave a really good reminder. It was like, I'm retired and I didn't always have the time to do this. You know, I've kind of gotten there through the years. You know, I don't have children running about. So I was like, oh yeah, okay. I feel a little bit better now because I have a full-time job still. I'm still working. I'm like, you know, I haven't reached that stage of my life yet. So I don't need to stress about being able to do things. So, I mean, I think I get an awful lot done as it is in my life, because I'm really blessed to have a partner who is like 100% in it with me as a parent. And he also understands that I'm a much like happier person when I have time to do my artwork and my creative endeavors. We try to do our best to like make time for one another's like interests and hobbies. So yeah, it makes it a lot more manageable to just treat each other like we're still people and not just like parents. Oops. Okay. So I like this time of year on YouTube because it's nice to watch what everybody is doing right now, like setting up their year for their creative endeavors and things like that. Like doing bullet journals and planners and art journals and thinking of new ways to keep themselves inspired, because I think we all know like we're in for a little bit more time where we aren't going to be out and about, but I'm okay with that right now. I've done it for a year, so I can do it for a bit longer. There's actual like benefits to it for me. I think I am also kind of like, I don't want to say like a homebody, but I sort of am kind of a homebody a little bit. I mean, yes and no. Like I usually did go out every day somewhere, like usually for a walk, or like I'd go thrift shopping, or, you know, do the regular kind of stuff that we all have to do, like chores. But in terms of like social, like hangouts and stuff, I wasn't doing as much of that as I'd planned or as I wanted to. I actually wrote it down in the beginning of my 2020 bullet journal, was to be more of like a like an instigator of like hanging out and stuff, like with my friends. And I was kind of getting started on that a little bit, but no, it was not meant to be. So, but there will be time. I will catch up. And I used to do a lot of things with like my daughter. Like we would take her to all sorts of places, like weekends, like sometimes during the week, you know, we would go to like nature reserves and like kids events. One that I really miss, really miss, and it got canceled this year anyways, I think, or last year. So it's now going to be 2 years that we didn't get to go to it. And I forget why it got canceled, if it was low attendance or what have you. But it happens usually in January, and it's called Totsapalooza. And so it's like a little, like it's a music festival for kids. And a lot of local bands come and play music, and there's authors and artists. And yeah, so we always love doing that because it's a lot of fun. There's like a little, it's actually in a bar, but it gets kind of like converted over, like the dance floor is still the dance floor, but there's all these tables set up with like crayons and coloring, and they have a local baker come in and bake all of these cool like book themed cookies, because it's kind of like, it has the backing of like the literary community, like that's who sort of sets it up. It's like basically a little literary festival, and they have all sorts of fun stuff. And the upstairs is like a photo booth, and there's all these like authors selling their kids books, and like it's just like all the best people. Like when you have kids, like young kids and parents, like you can really meet some nice people that are kind of like-minded, you know, to the kind of scene that you're into. And yeah, I miss it a lot. That one is a big one that I miss. And also just like going places where I can do hands-on education, like an aquarium where we can talk about, you know, how these things can be both good and bad, and like just seeing all the animals and like getting to appreciate things. But it'll come back eventually. We'll get there. Okay. This one is the time zones page. Okay. This one needs to be trimmed a little bit. There we go. Now we just got to do the corners. So I posted a new set of, I should have brought them with me, but I forgot, of digitals on my Etsy shop this morning also. It is jelly prints that I scanned, and they will be, I think, really fun for collaging or even colorful journal spreads. So I posted those in my Etsy shop this morning if you want to check them out. They're pretty fun. It's nice to have some like different digital papers like to go along with all the vintage and, you know, all of that kind of thing. Really makes for a nice journal when you can add some like different kinds of dimensions, and it's nice to be able to use the work of other like designers and kind of collaborate that way. It's really fun. It's also really nice if you're like working in a theme. You know, you can search for whatever your theme is and be able to get some nice pages that are like already set up for you, that you don't have to like completely start from scratch. Because one thing about bookmaking, journal making, is that, you know, there's a lot of pages to account for. So you can have like, you know, 50 to 100 pages where you've got to put something on that page. And like that can become a lot of work. So, okay, so I think I'm going to give this again another little rest, because I think I've done a few here. This one's fine. I'm just checking the seams to make sure we don't have any buckling or anything. Yeah, it's all good. But I'm going to give it a break again. We only have, I think, like 2 or 3 more to go. So let's go back to this journal and see what we can put in this pocket if I have anything made here. So there's this. That's a little small. This little flip could go in here, but no, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not exactly happy with it yet. That one might be nice though. Is it too wide? No, it's actually good. Perfect. I like that. This page is good. I'm going to put something on the front of that signature, I think. Pocket. Or maybe maybe an over the page kind of hanging thing. That would be nice. So I've got this one that has like a little pocket in it. I just need to make something to put in that little pocket. Or I really like this big journal card, but I think I'm going to put that in the other journal because it's more sized to it. It's larger. Oh, here, this one. This is nice. Let's see how that looks. Right up here. Yeah, that is really cute. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to get, I'm just going to pause you for a second while I grab a bead. Hold on. I'm back. I just had to get a bead to string on my altered paper, or my paper clips. So this is the bead I'm using. Please ignore the glue on my fingers, but I made these beads some time ago. They're made from measuring tape. So I cut them up and just threaded them on like a jewelry finding and added like a wave and stabbed through the entire thing. So I just made these cool little things. I actually have some more of them. I might put some up in my shop eventually. I have so much stuff that I need to post. It's like, I finally got like a lot posted today and I'm happy about that, but there's always more to get done. I actually make a lot more stuff than I end up getting posted. I just go on these kind of massa makes. So there, that'll be cute. At the top, it'll just kind of hang at the top of the journal and be something nice. Okay. So, all right, let's go back to my journal of firsts, because I think I'm just going to try to finish this up today, and that will be it for our video, because I know I'm definitely like over time at this point. But so I wanted to keep the measurement and conversions page. I like that page. Dialing codes and travel planning. Not so much. Nope, not necessary this year. Okay. So let's check the size of these. This one's good. It just needs corners rounded. And yeah, this one's good too. So we just need corners rounded. Okay. I think I like that better. Yeah, I do. Or no, maybe I don't. No, I do. I like, no, and that's the way that I actually trimmed it, so I can't swap it around. What am I thinking? Okay. Just being indecisive here. Go. Here we go. So I gotta think of all the things that I want to track this year. Maybe I'll do a page about my garden. I have all my seed catalogs like sitting there on my desk looking at me saying, when are we gonna figure this out? Oops, I gotta lift that again. Because I gotta get ordering seed if I'm gonna plant new things this year. It's like I was thinking about just not like doing a big garden this year. I might just use the seeds that I have from last year, because really I do need to use that. I need to empty a bit of my seed vault that I have. So I might just do that, to be honest, because I'm looking at it a little bit like we're moving, and I don't need to like get super like into a big garden. I need to trim some of the edge of that off. It's still white. Actually, it doesn't really matter on this, but yeah, I'm actually not going to stress. It's not going to bother me. So yeah, because we're moving, it's like I don't want to, oops, these need to go together. It's too thin for one sheet. I don't want to like start my massive garden. I'm already like a little bit grieving the loss of like certain things when I move that I can't take with me, like my raspberry bushes that are really, really nice and well established, and my apple tree. But in some ways it makes me happy to think like it'll be here for somebody else who might not even have knowledge of gardening, and maybe it will inspire them to, you know, see some apples in their backyard and then understand like what it is to take care of an apple tree. And that's kind of a nice thing. I need to pick that back up again. A little too far over. The glue sticks so quickly. It's like you really gotta hurry. There. Now we're good. Yeah, we're good. Nope, we're not good. I'm getting distracted a little bit. Thinking about gardening. All right, there. Okay. I also think I will miss my big linden tree that I have out front. It was planted when I moved here, and it took me until really last year to fully appreciate how many like amazing things there are about linden trees. Like I never even made the connection between my linden tree and linden tea, but like yes, actually the leaves are edible as well, and the flowers can make really nice fragrant tea. So yeah, I was annoyed with that tree for like a few of the years that I had it, because I didn't like how at the bottom of it, it grows like a bush that's made of the same, I mean, it's like the same kind of leaves as the tree itself. And I thought like, this looks so messy. Why is there like a bush growing around the base of this tree? It's not like neat at all. But you know, like most things in nature that don't conform to the human concept of neatness, they're supposed to be there. And so I did hack them back like once or twice, and I still do, because you have to actually keep them a little pruned for them to stay healthy. But now I don't like find them unattractive anymore. Now I actually quite like them. So I get along better with that tree now that I know more about it. and I don't try to control it. But I'm pretty sure I am actually pretty much the opposite of that kind of a person who worries about things like grass, because I actually don't like grass at all. And I think it's just such a waste of space when you could be growing something useful. But I know I am the odd one out in my neighborhood, because there are a lot of people who are extremely obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with their lawns. Like, they are constantly like pruning them. And we have like, well, I have a neighbor who, I mean, he doesn't, I don't really engage with him a whole lot. I don't really see him or know them at all. But one day he, like, one side of our yard meets up with his driveway, and he's like very obsessed with his lawn. And I grow like wildflowers and wild plants and herbs on my front lawn for the bees mainly, and I don't trim them back because you don't need to. And so he asked me if it would be, well, asked my husband if it would be okay if he mowed our lawn. So at first my husband thought he had won the lottery or something, and he was like, oh, well, you know, sure. So of course that means that I had to go have a little bit of a conversation about minding our own beeswax, per se, and staying within the borders of our own property when we are considering how our lawn should look. So, not to be rude, but, you know, I just think that we don't need to, like, trespass on each other so much. Like, it doesn't in any way offend me that he, you know, has done all these different things that aren't for me, definitely, like a toxic asphalt driveway, like, not at all for me. And yeah, I'm maybe a little bit judgmental about it, but I'm not, like, I would never say anything to him or really, you know, mean about him. But, you know, I'm certainly not going to go to him and say, hey, like, I'm growing this, you know, nature preserve in my front yard, and I don't want you to have asphalt, you know, fumes everywhere. I would never do that. So I was a little bit surprised at just the I guess the braveness people have to, like, you know, try to talk about stuff like that. But either way, we live in harmony, you know. We have our own ways, and I think I'm okay with that. All right, so let's see how this looks. So we have our title page, phonology wheel, calendar. These are my creative endeavors that things I've completed, I think. And the rest of it, I don't yet know what I'm doing, what I'm going to be tracking. I have not decided that yet. So that, then I left in the measures and conversions, which I think is just kind of nice to have. It's cool. I probably won't even look at it all year, but I will have had the intention. And then I left this page as well, which is my extraordinary moments this year. And this is just make this space your own at Moleskine template. So it's a blank space. So I don't know what I'll do with that yet. Maybe I'll paint on it or something, but I don't know. And then this one, yeah, so I like that. And there we are. So that's the work for today. And that's gotten a little bit bulkier, as you can see. You see how the pages are a little bit more, you know. But that's what this is going to be. This will be a big fat one by the end of the year. And that's exactly what I want. So anyhow, guys, I'm going to go because I know I'm probably like at an hour or more at this point. So next video, I might have more done on the Indigo journals, or I might not, because I do have a lot more to do. So if I don't, I will do some with you. Other than that, have a wonderful day. Please subscribe. I will put links down below for a few things that I've talked about here, and off to wash my paws. So have a great day. Thank you. Bye.